today, it's actually Wednesday, it's a week since Sienna was diagnosed with kissing spine. As you well know, we don't know for sure that was what was causing her poor performance. That's what we're going through at the moment. But either way, she's got 3 little spinal processes that are kissing each other, and I need to do training that's going to help hopefully reduce that. I saw some amazing x-rays that someone posted on a kissing spine Facebook page that showed through their incredible hard work over like 8 months of serious rehab, they'd actually managed to change the horse's back x-rays, and these little processes that had once been touching had started to kind of pull away from each other and have good spaces in between them. And I thought that was incredible. Like, credit to that person, because that is, wow. So it has made me realise that as much as my vet has said, if this is the cause of her poor performance, surgery is probably the best route. And I'm not saying no to that, but it just has opened my eyes that I may also be able to help Sienna through rehab and correct training. So I'm not jumping down the operation route just yet. She's been very cranky this week, I'd say. I'm keeping an eye on her. I don't know if it's to do with having her back medicated. I don't think so. Her back's not sore. When I feel down it and so on, it's not painful to her. She doesn't wince, she doesn't drop her back or anything. So I don't think it's any issues. I wonder if she's just coming into season, but she's not normally this cranky, if I'm being honest. She's really grumpy. Very foodie. Like, she just wants food and really just wants you to leave her alone, which I totally understand. I wonder if it's worse this time around, because last time she'd have been on the Butte trial when she was in season, so she wouldn't have felt much. She's probably having a great time. So I think this one perhaps feels a bit bigger to her, and that's why she's not having such a great time. She's just very irritated about everything. Poor Corporal. So I thought I'd bring you along, obviously explain about our rehab program. This is week 1 of rehabbing her, and the vet's rehab program was very basic, it would turn out. I don't really know much about kissing spine, and so far this week I've learned a lot. I felt very overwhelmed and very lost and very realising I know nothing. And I don't think my vet's rehab program really helped me much because it was super basic. So the vet suggested long reining or hand walking for 30 to 40 minutes each day. And I initially was like, oh, okay, that's fine, can do that. She's good at long reining. All you want to do is bite the door. I know you're having a rough week, I get it. So I was a bit like, okay, I can do that. But never spoke about like the positioning of her body, her like stretching or anything like that. Literally it was just like hand walk or long rein, and then next week do a little bit of trot, that kind of thing. And also the program was really only for about 4 weeks. Now I know with Sienna we're trying to find out if this is the key to what's equaling her poor performance. But as a rehab program goes, now I've learned it's a bit rubbish. And I've, been taking on board a lot of information online, and I've had my eyes well and truly opened that actually there's so much more that I could be doing. There's so many in-hand exercises I could be learning. Also, this is a rehab program for life. This is not a rehab program for 6 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. This needs to be continuous. And I didn't really realise that at all. So at the moment, I am splitting it. So I'm doing 20 minutes of long reining. I'm doing 20 minutes of in-hand walking. I did take her out on the lead for a hack yesterday. I don't know whether it was wrong or right. I haven't really got anyone to ask at the moment. I'm waiting for a physio to come back to me because I've got a lot of questions. But I wanted to go and do some hill work with her because hill work's really good. Again, none of these things were mentioned, like hill work and kind of extra in-hand exercises were never mentioned on the vet's rehab program. And I also don't know what's too much to be doing, and yes, I have a lot of questions, but I'm definitely starting to write down a kind of load of ideas and exercises and things that I could be doing to help her. So hopefully I can do the absolute best for her. Hello, Grumpy Chops. So I need to learn how to teach Sienna to lift up through her back, engage her core, engage her hindquarters. Literally, we need to teach her to use her back properly. And she's always been a horse that's kind of carried her head and neck quite high up in front of her. And I am struggling a little bit of how to teach her to stretch properly. I obviously, when riding her, was teaching her to stretch. But with all this in hand work, it's trying to get her to learn to stretch down so that she lifts through her back. And she doesn't find it that easy. She's also gets very easily distracted when I'm working with her. So it's not being the easiest. I do find so far that hand walking seems to be the best for getting her to drop her neck and head down, compared to the long reining and so on. Long reining, she just carries her head around like normal, don't you? So I'm not sure how much she's actually kind of using her back properly. So today, having so far this week done some long reining, done some walking in hand, I've done a few poles, just done hill hacking, I thought I would try something that's different, come out on some different terrain, slightly uphill. It's not massively uphill here, but a little bit of uphill work, and walk her in hand in the field. However, she's very easily distracted, and when she's distracted, she just puts her head up. So she's not technically using her back correctly when she's, looking like a giraffe. She also wants to eat the grass, because why wouldn't you? It's delicious. Oh my goodness, I am going to be fit at the end of this. It's not very easy, but she is settling better. So just trying to keep it varied for her, because she is finding it all really boring. And then just, gets annoyed because we're not doing anything exciting, and I suppose she's just got to learn to relax to it, hasn't she? But oh my goodness, honestly, I better see some results myself after all this walking. It is hard. Anyone that's going through it, or literally just been given a diagnosis or something like that, I feel for you, because you do feel very lost by it all, to be honest. And it makes you feel like you haven't got a clue. And I hate that feeling. I really do. So we only managed 12 minutes of field walking. I'm going to reward her at the end of each walk, so she hopefully stops trying to grab the grass while we're walking around, and she knows that she'll get a minute or two's yummy grass at the end as her reward. I mean, at least she's stretching now. So the carrot stretches are proving, excuse the hair, the carrot stretches are proving quite tricky with her as well, because they're making her quite nippy, and she's so obsessed with food, girl after my own heart, that I'm not sure she's actually doing them particularly well, because she just totally fixated on grabbing the carrot on my hand, and so we're not getting the kind of length of time she should be doing the stretch for. And again, it's week 1. I mean, she's done carrot stretches before, but I'll be honest, I've not been the most consistent with it, and it's only week 1, so she will get better. But when everything's quite hard at the beginning and you're just like, I'm not doing this well enough and I'm not helping her well enough, I'm at that stage right now. I'm just out on B here. It's an addiction for an equestrian. They can't help it. They've got to talk about the weather. This wind. I don't mind the cooler temperatures. It doesn't really bother me. I like wearing the jumper, but the wind can do one. It's relentless at the moment. I feel like we've just had it for weeks. It just doesn't seem to ever go away. And even down here, which is quite kind of covered by the trees, still blowing a hoolie. It's very repetitive and very boring, I must say. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I know it's still quite boring. These vlogs, oh dear. I strive to try and make them more exciting and do more fun things, and the door just gets shut in my face. Meaning with Sienna, I don't think any shows are coming our way anytime soon. Oh, I am having one of those days where I just feel a bit like mopey about it all, and I'm like, come on, keep going. But I just feel like the last, 4 or 5 horses that I've brought, all ranging in prices and breeds and all that, they've all just, bless them, just had big issues, and not necessarily issues that were down to me or anything like that, just issues that probably born like it or so on. And I just feel a bit like, I want to go back to those Coopy days. I was so lucky with Corporate, honestly. I know I keep saying it, but it just highlights just how phenomenal that horse was, to be able to give me so many years, and still do. I'm forever grateful to him, and honestly I think he's the one thing that keeps me going, is that I just hope I can have another horse that does the things that he did. But tell you what, it's a lot of blood, sweat and tears, isn't it? Anyway, I'll just go and eat some chocolate. That'll sort me right out. As I say, I hope you're having a good week, guys, and hopefully I'll be back with another vlog on Sunday. About what, I do not know. Life, it's all fun.